If you want a new graphics card to run games at 4K resolution and you want to avoid choppy frame rates, stutters, FPS drops, or just bottlenecks and confusing product names, then you came to the right place. In today's video, we are cutting through the noise and I will show you the absolute best graphics cards for 4K gaming, no matter your budget. We have spent countless of hours researching these graphics cards. That way, we make sure you get the smoothest, highest FPS experience for your budget and needs. From entry-level options to the most expensive top-tier graphics cards out there. Now, you will find every 4K graphics card down below in the video description with the latest prices and availability in your region. My name is Valentino. That being said, let's start. Now, if you're working with a tight budget and you want an entry-level GPU for 4K resolution, in that case, I recommend you getting the NVIDIA RTX 5070. This graphics card will be actually amazing for 4K 60 plus FPS on average, and you can basically play the most high demanding games out there with DLSS enabled and achieve very smooth performance. So as an entry-level GPU for 4K is actually pretty amazing, and it's also great for 1440p high FPS. So if you have a 1440p monitor right now and you are thinking of upgrading to 4K down the line, well, at 1440p you will be achieving over 100 FPS on average in high demanding games, high to ultra settings. So amazing performance for both resolutions. And then if you want to play esports shooters, well, it will depend on your CPU as well, but with this graphics card you can easily achieve 240 plus FPS on average at 4K in competitive settings. So you can buy a 240Hz 4K monitor. Now this GPU is going for $550, which is a very nice price because it used to be way more expensive. So as of right now, it's back at its MSRP. And for $50 more, you could get the RX 9070 from AMD, which is the competitor from the 5070. And it's basically the same when it comes to gaming performance, but it comes with 16 gigs of VRAM, which is going to be better for 4K gaming now and 4K gaming in the future. Now, I highly recommend you doing your own research and researching your favorite games and whether or not they will require more than 12 gigs of VRAM on high to ultra settings. And if they do, then I highly recommend you buying the 16GB graphics card in the RX 9070. If not, then the NVIDIA GPU will be cheaper, and it's also better when it comes to the upscaling technology because you get DLSS, and it's also better when it comes to ray tracing performance. Now, if you want to get the best price to performance graphics card for 4K resolution, so you will be able to play at 4K ultra settings, and it's not the most expensive one out there, and it's also not the cheapest, then I recommend you getting the NVIDIA RTX 5070 Ti. This graphics card has 16 gigs of VRAM, so you do not have to worry about VRAM right now or in the near future, and you get an amazing level of gaming performance. In fact, in the most high demanding games out there, you can expect over 80 FPS on average without any upscaling technology. So if you want to play with DLSS quality for you to preserve that nice looking image, but at the same time you want better performance, then you will be averaging around 90 to 100 plus FPS in these high demanding games on high to ultra settings. So very fast performance, and you're also getting a very nice level of ray tracing performance. And as of right now, the 5070 Ti price is actually really good at $750. Now, it's not cheap by any means, but again, it's not the most expensive one out there, and it used to be way more expensive. I mean, 1 to 2 months ago, this graphics card was going for at least $850. So seeing it at $750 is a really good sign, and it's in my opinion the best price to performance graphics card for 4K resolution. And yes, if you want AMD, you can go ahead and get a cheaper one for around $700 in the RX 9070 XT, but it's only $50 cheaper, and the level of gaming performance it's very similar. So the 5070 Ti is slightly better overall because of the NVIDIA feature set, and honestly, when you're about to spend $700 USD on a graphics card, $50 more is not that much more expensive, and that's why I highly recommend you getting the 5070 Ti. Now, if you are in a different region like the UK or Europe, it might be different. Maybe in your country, the 5070 Ti is at least $100 more expensive than the 9070 XT, and in that case, getting the 9070 XT will be much better when it comes to price to performance. So I highly recommend you checking the links down in the video description. Then, if you have more money to spend and you're looking for a high-end graphics card, I do recommend you getting the NVIDIA RTX 5080, which is going to be slightly faster than the 5070 Ti. This is one of the fastest graphics cards in the entire market for any resolution, and for 4K ultra settings you will be achieving very high frame rates. It doesn't matter the type of game because you can run the most high demanding games out there like Flight Simulator or Cyberpunk 2077 and still achieve smooth performance at 4K high to ultra settings. So with this one you will be achieving around 90 plus FPS on average without any upscaling technology in these type of games high to ultra settings. So very strong performance. Now keep in mind that you need the right CPU, so if you're going to build your own PC, just do your own research. You need the right CPU because you do not want to bottleneck this graphics card, especially at this high end point. And then if you're buying a pre-built PC, just make sure that the CPU from that pre-built system will be fine with the RTX 5080. Now don't worry because I will give you the perfect builds and pre-built systems by the end of this video. That way you make sure that you do not bottleneck any of these GPUs. And last but definitely not least, if you don't care about money, you just want the fastest graphics card out there because you want the fastest gaming performance or content creation performance if you're a professional content creator, then I recommend you getting the NVIDIA RTX 5090, which was actually back at its its MSRP a few days ago. By the time of filming, this GPU went back up to $2,250, so it's a bit more expensive than its original MSRP, but it's definitely a much better price than we had a few months ago, where this graphics card was going for over 4,000 USD. Now, if you don't know much about this graphics card, which I highly doubt, basically it's the fastest one out there. You can max out any game at 4K resolution with the highest frame rates. It doesn't matter the type of game, this is the absolute best GPU for any resolution, and you will be achieving very high frame rates. And it's also the fastest one for content creation and productivity work in case you want to do more than just gaming. And remember that the price might be a little bit cheaper when you're watching this one, so I do recommend you checking the latest prices and availability down in the video description box. And I will also leave a bonus graphics card in case you're working with a very tight budget and you want to play very easy to run games like Valorant or Fortnite, or maybe games like GTA 5 or Red Dead Redemption 2. You get the point. You don't want to play the most high demanding games out there on ultra settings, so you are okay with spending less. If that's you, then in the video description you will also find a link to the RX 9060 XT, which is a graphics card that goes for under 400 USD and is actually very decent for 4K resolution in these very easy to run games. And you also get 16 gigs of VRAM, which is a nice to have. And as I said before, you need the right CPU and the right computer overall not to bottleneck any of these graphics cards, because you want your PC to be perfectly balanced for you to get the highest frame rates and not get any stuttering, or worst case scenario, your PC will not even turn on. So if you want to avoid any possible bottlenecks, I have two videos for you. One about the best PC builds of the month in case you want to build one yourself, and the other one about the best pre-built PCs of the month in case you want to get a gaming PC that's already built for you for 4K resolution. Both videos you will find in the top right and top left corner of the screen. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one.